Hello and welcome to Global Eye. I'm Natasha Kirtchuk, and today we're going to be taking a look at the most trending stories taking place across the world.
Cluster weapons are designed to spread destruction across wide areas. That's right, Benita. At around 3:12 a.m., we heard a massive explosion in the area. You know, it's important to note that I don't live directly in this residential neighborhood, not too far away, about a 20-minute walk. And even from there, I was able to hear that boom and also the windows shaking in our building. So you can imagine exactly what that experience was like for people who live right next door to the scene of the attack. I want to show you the building that was targeted by an explosive drone. What you're looking at right now is a building that is about 200 meters from the U.S. Embassy. You can see the U.S. Embassy right here down the street to the left of where we're standing on the ocean on the Mediterranean Sea. Now, one man was killed in this attack. He was killed by shrapnel. His body was believed to be found right over here in a building adjacent. He was believed to be on the roof of this building. And you can see in the surrounding area over here, there's a lot of damage. There were also 8 people who were injured. Many were taken to the hospital. 4 suffered from acute anxiety. 4 were injured by shrapnel. We saw windows in surrounding areas be blown out. You can look right here at this building just across the street, an example of what happened to many buildings in this area.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump is calling his high-stakes summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing today extremely positive and very productive after the two leaders met for nearly 2 hours. Trump described these talks as great and even extended an invitation for Xi to visit Washington this September.
Haifa is the largest city in northern Israel. And right now we're in a bomb shelter that has been built into a parking lot underground in the event of sirens.
Okay. I think it's starting.
That is an early warning siren. Today we are at Biomed Israel. This is the 24th conference of its kind, highlighting the biggest medical innovations coming out of the state of Israel. And today we are absolutely surrounded by Israeli startups that are working on preventing some of the most serious health issues on the planet, from preterm births to how to make sure that cuts heal faster, how to regenerate bone growth, and how to monitor patients at home who don't have access to doctor care. Well, a major terror case unfolding out of the United States is putting Iran-backed networks back in the spotlight after prosecutors charged an Iraqi militia commander with plotting a series of attacks on Jewish targets across multiple countries. U.S. officials have charged Iraqi militia commander Mohammed al-Saadi with plotting nearly 20 attacks on behalf of Kataib Hezbollah and Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Researchers from the University of Dayton and the University of Oregon asked hundreds of participants to scroll through mock posts from fictional fitness influencers. And what they found is something that they are calling the beauty backfire effect. The idea is simple. When someone is too good looking, many viewers just stop seeing them as believable or relatable. How much are you willing to pay for a cup of coffee? How about a bar of chocolate? Or what about a juicy apple? To many, these foods are part of everyday life, but they could soon become a luxury, and that's all thanks to global climate change. Denver International Airport has turned into a terrifying and deadly scene after a person managed to breach airport security and run onto an active runway right as a fully loaded passenger jet was taking off. Well, I mean, you can just see the massive destruction behind me. We're standing right in front of a house that was directly impacted by a missile last night when we saw a barrage of about 40 missiles launched at northern Israel. The women that were inside this building, 4 women, were all killed upon impact. A mother, her 2 daughters, one was 20, one was 13, and their cousin were physically thrown by the impact across in front of this house. Almost every day, somebody finds an ancient artifact in Israel. With thousands of years of history, this country has become known as a paradise for antique hunters. But the question is, where can you actually find a good deal?
If I were you, seriously, I would buy this and sell it.
All right, guys, that's it.
I might quit my job over how much I'm going to make on this.
A major UFO file dump from the Pentagon is reigniting one of the oldest questions out there. Are we really alone? When you look at these newly released Pentagon files, what stands out to you the most?
I have met people who have seen UFOs, were abducted by UFOs.
Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, domestic violence reports have skyrocketed. And in the last year alone, the Israeli Welfare Ministry has seen a 10% increase in calls to its domestic violence hotline. Can you cure a domestic abuser?
American military aircraft have carried out a rare drill over Caracas. This is the first drill since the U.S. operation that toppled President Nicolás Maduro in Venezuela earlier this year.
If you hate cooking, you may never have to again, thanks to this guy.
This is the Molly Robotic Kitchen, a robot chef that hangs down over your oven and can cook you more than 5,000 different recipes.
So once I put the order in, how long is it going to take for Bistro to actually make the dish?
Iran's supreme leader is escalating the rhetoric now. He's warning that countries across the Middle East will no longer be safe places for American military bases, while also calling for broader opposition to both the United States and Israel across the Muslim world.
You see women standing in the middle, cars circling around them. You see cars pull up into the sand dunes. It almost feels like the cars are circling their prey.
We're on Kirtchuk'S beach in northern Tel Aviv. During the day, this is a center of relaxing beach activity. But at night, these dunes become a hub of illegal activity. People from across the country come here to pick up prostitutes, no matter where these prostitutes actually come from.
President Trump is now even suggesting countries involved in any future Iran deal should join the accords as part of a wider regional coalition. And joining us now from the UAE is Mark Sievers, former U.S. ambassador to Oman. So, Ambassador, how seriously should regional countries take Khamenei's warning about U.S. military bases? Obviously, we've already seen Iranian strikes targeting multiple Gulf nations. The UAE was hit even harder than Israel was.
Yeah, hi, Natasha, and good to be on I-24. I'm not sure how seriously those threats should be taken.
So this is where the magic happens.
You're developing a startup from your bedroom.
And get started and become a huge phenomenon before they even pitch to an adult investor.
Pregnancy? Let's face it, parenting and fertility choices often seem to be everybody else's business. And while the coronavirus pandemic has made it hard to plan for the future, for lots of women, it's finally given them the chance to take control of the next big step in life, having a baby. In Israel, the average cost of just one round of egg freezing is 15,000 shekels. That's around $4,400.
Police in London have just announced that they are launching a new unit created specifically to protect Jews. And this is following a surge in anti-Semitic violence.
Argentina. You may have heard of this nation for its football, its tango, or maybe its beef. But this Southern American country hides many secrets, and I'm about to take you to see one of them. I'm in one of the cheapest travel destinations in the world, Argentina. You can get a 3-course meal in a high-level Argentine restaurant for less than $10.
And SpaceX has just pushed its most powerful rocket yet to the edge of commercial reality, but it didn't end quietly. On Friday, the company launched its 12th Starship test flight from Texas, sending the massive next-generation rocket into space on a high-stakes trial run. Now, this mission ended with a controlled splashdown in the Indian Ocean. It was followed by a big explosion. But despite that, SpaceX is calling the test a key step forward for Starship V3.
Right now, we're in Tel Aviv's famous Carmel Market, and locals from across the city come here to buy the freshest vegetables and fruit. So if there's anybody who understands how the produce market is fluctuating, it's probably these guys. Have you been seeing the prices go up over the course of the last few years?
Whether it's adjusting your diet or your lifestyle to fit the needs of our Earth,
You may want to start thinking more about how your actions affect the environment if you want to continue to be able to afford your favorite foods.
And And it's official. Peter Magyar has been sworn in as Hungary's new prime minister after defeating longtime incumbent Viktor Orban. But nobody cares, and that's because they're all focused on this guy, Hungary's incoming health minister, who also happens to be an incredible dancer, depending on what gets you going.
The process of getting through Haifa Airport, where Air Haifa takes off from, is super simple. It took us just a couple of steps to get through security. We're here at check-in. Right after that, a few more steps this way, and welcome to both of the gates. Now, you might think in such a small airport there wouldn't be much to do before your flight, but once you get through security, you have a cafe right here with the restaurant food, and you even have duty-free shopping, and there's ample time to both shop and have a coffee right before your flight because of how quick it is to get through security and then check in.
Air Haifa currently flies to Cyprus, Greece, and now Bulgaria. Today, co-founder Michael Strasburger is taking the inaugural flight to Sofia with his kids.
Are there any other countries that are next on the list? Any destinations that you guys are really hoping for?
Of course, but this is a top secret.
Singapore is taking a tougher approach to school bullying, and it's sparking a major debate over discipline, punishment, and children's rights.
אתן רואות את אבא בטלוויזיה כל הזמן, נכון? כן. ומה את חושבת על זה?
שצריך להחזיר את אור.
That's Mia. She's just 7 years old, but she and her two sisters have become used to hearing their father, Michael, talk to the public for the last year about one of the worst possible stories you could think of. His brother, Or Levy, was taken hostage from the Nova Music Festival on October 7th.
זה ממש מת מהלס.
ככה אתה מרגיש.
זה יום, לילה, לא ישנים בלילה.
Growing numbers of Gazans are now expressing support for Hamas to give up its weapons because they see disarmament as a possible exit route from years of war, destruction, and instability. Today, I'm sitting with a group of Israeli children to understand what the war looks like through their eyes. מה זה מלחמה?
שיש אזעקות לפעמים ויש טילים.
אתם מפחדים?
לא, ככה. הבומים מפחידים. רעש.
אנחנו על יד הגנים, נכון? איפה יש מקלט פה?
יש פה וכאן, שם.
מה יש לכם פה לעשות?
משחקים בזה. כן, זה כיפי. משחקים כדור.
Imagine being able to see into the future.
We can take you there. What innovations will change the world as we know it? Where can you get the most bang for your buck? I'm Natasha Kirtchuk, journalist, traveler, and the host of Israel Business Beat. Join us as we meet the people changing our planet and discover the inventions shaping tomorrow.
Israel Business Beat, Sundays and Wednesdays, 9:30 p.m. GMT.